In this position, the opponent has two knights, while we have only one. But the main threat is that black wants to promote his pawn to a queen on the next move. So, how can we possibly save this game? Today, we're studying a brilliant composition by not one, but two composers, Alexander Herbstmann and Leonid Kubbel. In this position, it's white to move, and the goal is to force a draw. If you'd like to find the solution yourself, pause the video now. Otherwise, I'll show you the correct answer. So, since our knight can't cover the promotion square e1 on the next move, we have only one real idea to survive. We must transfer our knight to f3. From there, if black promotes his pawn to a queen, we'll immediately deliver a fork on the king and the new queen. There are two ways to reach the f3 square, either through g5 or through g1. Which one is correct? Let's first look at what happens if we play knight g5. Now, indeed, black cannot promote the pawn because he would instantly get forked. So instead, black moves his king, king e3. Now the threat of promotion is real, since knight f3 no longer comes with check. The only way to try and stop the pawn is to play knight f3 immediately, blocking the promotion square. But the problem is that black replies knight f4 check, forcing our king to move either to g1 or h1. After either retreat, our knight on f3 falls, and the passed pawn will promote freely. White loses. So, we've just seen, the only correct path is to move the knight to g1. Now the idea is different. We not only threaten to jump to f3, but we're also attacking the pawn on e2, and black simply doesn't have time to move his king away from a potential fork. If we sacrifice our knight on e2 and black captures it, despite having two extra pieces, that's still not enough. Because, as you probably know, two knights alone cannot deliver checkmate against a lone king if the defender plays correctly. Of course, black doesn't have to give up his pawn right away. He can start checking our king with his knights instead. So how do we defend in both possible cases? Let's first see what happens if black plays knight f4, and then we'll look at knight e3. If black plays knight f4, our king has three possible squares to retreat to. But which one is correct? It's easy to notice that the only right move is king h1. If we go to f2, black simply promotes the pawn to a queen with check. And if we move to f3, our king blocks the f3 square for our own knight. So after the pawn promotes, there's no fork anymore, and we lose as well. So we return to the correct path, king h1. Now we're threatening to capture the pawn on the next move. Black still can't promote, so he keeps checking our king, playing knight g3. But we calmly step aside with king h2. Now the black knight is under attack. It has to move. If it retreats normally, we'll just capture the pawn. And if black continues to give checks, the position just repeats. So in the end, black is forced to promote his pawn. But the only piece he can promote to is a knight. Otherwise, we'd have an immediate fork. And now, 3 knights versus 1 knight is usually a winning endgame for black. However, in this specific position, white can still save the game. If you haven't found the idea yet, pause the video and try to discover it. In this position, we play knight f3, sacrificing our only knight, but still delivering a fork. Black must capture our knight, otherwise we'll take his. And after that capture, the board freezes. It's stalemate. Our king has no legal moves and we've achieved a draw. But what happens if, instead of knight f4, black plays knight e3? Now our king has even more options, a total of 5 possible squares to move to. So which one is correct? Take a moment to think about it. The right move is king h3. Now, let's see why all the other moves fail. If we play king f2, it loses for the same reason as before. Black promotes the pawn to a queen with check. If we move to f3, our own king once again blocks the f3 square for the knight, and the pawn promotes easily. If we retreat to h1, notice that the black knight has left the f1 square, so after promotion, our knight on g1 becomes pinned, and we can't deliver the fork. We can also try king h2, but this time, black's idea works perfectly. He promotes his pawn to a knight, and we no longer have any stalemate tricks. And as you might know, 3 knights versus 1 knight is a theoretically winning endgame for black. I won't show the full line, it's quite long, but trust me, white is lost there. So the only correct move is king h3. Now black has two options: either continue giving checks or promote the pawn on e1. If black promotes his pawn to a knight, we use the same stalemate trick again. We sacrifice our knight on f3. Black has no choice but to capture it, and the result is another beautiful stalemate. Our king has no legal moves, and the game is drawn. So let's go back. Black shouldn't rush to promote yet. Instead, he continues checking our king with knight f4. Once again, we have three possible king moves, but it's not hard to see that if we go to g3 or h4, the pawn promotes to a queen on e1 with check, and white loses immediately. Therefore, the only correct move is king h2. And now comes the most interesting part of the entire study. Black can still keep checking our king, but he can also finally promote his pawn on e1. And the key point is that, at first glance, we seem to have no stalemate tricks left. So, what happens if black plays knight f1? We simply move our king to h1, reaching a position we've already seen before. We're threatening to capture the pawn on e2, and black once again has two choices: keep checking us, or promote his pawn. If he keeps checking, the position just repeats. The knight has to go back to f1, and we return with king h2, leading to a perpetual. If black promotes to a knight, we sacrifice our knight on f3, and once again, it's a stalemate. But here comes the most fascinating variation. When the opponent promotes his pawn to a knight on e1. Now, it seems we have no stalemate tricks left. If we play knight f3, black simply captures our knight with check. It looks completely hopeless, but there is a way to save the game. Before I show it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss more of these amazing studies. Alright, the correct move is still knight f3. It's the most beautiful move in the entire composition. We sacrifice our knight, creating a fork once again. But wait, you might say, black can just take the knight with check, and he'll have three knights against our lone king. Surely that must be winning. Not quite. We simply move our king to g3, and suddenly both of black's knights are under attack. He can't save them both, and white miraculously escapes with a draw. What a study! A masterpiece of calculation, geometry, and creativity. It shows how even in the most hopeless-looking positions, precise logic and imagination can lead to beauty and balance. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what kind of chess studies you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.